It is a Zerg versus Protoss. The map is Ohana. Kev?
No.
Did you know that Ohana often gets to the late game in ZVP?
And do you know, Ben, that Catz often likes to 7-pool? You know, it's kind of a funny story, actually, because the other day I was playing some ladder, and I went to my other account and I played against Catz, and I did say, hey, it's me. And I played very greedy. I went Nexus. How did I open? Yeah, Nexus first, then Forge, then Gate, and then Cannon. So like, and no scout. And he's like, "What the hell, Rot? He's so greedy. Haven't you heard about my famous 7-pool?" I was like, "No, I've never heard of it."
Well, Phantaxx is about to be introduced to it here, as we are seeing Catz do just that. I love Catz because he said to me one day, "Root means family." And I laughed because, of course, that was great homage to Ohana, the map that means family. My favorite map.
Yeah, Rudy. I mean. Yeah, Root is a great team. I can say that.
It is very familial. I was looking over your shoulder into the Root chat, and
yeah, no,
it looks like a conversation I might have with my family on a bad day.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, no, that's it. Like it's. I can give you guys a little bit of insight. Well, Phantaxx does get a good scout up, so he knows what he's facing. I think he's gonna try to go for the full wall up. By the way. Root is really like internally it's so active. Every morning I wake up in the Skype channel and there are like 1100 new sentences that I didn't read yet. I was like, great guys. I really hope I don't have to read all of this. As all of the guys are very active. They're very chatty and active, but that also creates great team spirit, which is one of the reasons why Todd recently joined Root, because he really cares about playing with friends and just having fun.
Has spirit. Yes, he does.
Full wall-off will be ready in time, Ben, and I actually think that gate should survive. I'm not sure how many links will be able to attack this gate, but I think even if all 6 of them can attack it, this cannon will still be in time.
Just because.
No, only 4 links will be able to attack it, so I think that Phantaxx is going to be more than fine, Ben. Cannon is ready in 3 seconds. You want to
Catz is going to break it down and get in with like 3 links.
No, he's not going to break it down.
No, he's going away. Oh, Catz. You just made a liar out of me. Instead, he's going to turn around and work on these destructible rocks, and that is going to force at least one more cannon or a stalker eventually.
But I don't think he's going to overreact. No, I would just make the Nexus as soon as possible. You really don't need to do it. And cancel this gate and make a core. Or make a pylon. Phantaxx.
Yeah, he looks a little confused as to how he wants to play this out. He's also put a pylon down in the natural of Catz.
I would love to see him just drop the... Oh, okay, so that's what he's going to spend his money on.
Cannon?
I have no idea. He should just drop the Nexus right now. He's safe to drop the Nexus. He could have dropped this Nexus 30 seconds quicker. And that makes a huge difference in these 6 to 7 or 7 to 9 pool openings, which can throw your timings off a little bit. He is doing a good job at delaying this. But what I'm often afraid of, man, in a scenario like this, if you delay it too much, the game gets super weird. You're going to lose vision, you have no idea what's going on anymore, and you might get Nidus or something, and that kind of stuff is so tricky.
This game has already gotten super weird. The Cybercore is so delayed. He's not going to have Warp Gate for ages. And this is going to give Catz a lot of security. The Overlord sees the timing. It did see the timing on that Cybercore, right? Yeah, of course it did. So he knows how delayed Warp Gate is, and this is the kind of thing that Catz thinks about. He sits here and says, how can I throw my opponent off balance and then exploit that 5 minutes later?
And Ben, this is exactly what I've been talking about. Now we see double extractor on the way. So Catz is going to have a lot of gas early on in this game. He has so few minerals a minute right now. Only 400 minerals a minute, but
I've
right
seen
now
him follow up these kinds of builds with Baneling play before.
Yeah. Baneling is possible. I still think that Nidus would be a very, very good option, Ben, because he saw that Phantaxx went for that cannon, went for that pylon all before this cybernetic score, that everything else is going to be late. And on Ohana, it's definitely a map where you could potentially hide a Nidus somewhere.
Queen will prevent that probe from getting in again.
It's not the best map for Nidus. It's not Shakura's Plateau or something like that, where there's really a lot of surface area to drop it, but still. Layer is on the way, Ben.
Looking more and more like that is a correct prediction. Kevin should see Zergling speed, or what do you do with the slowlings? Remember the slowling Nidus All-In I used to talk about? That
from T-Gun. Yes, that's a story I'll never forget, because you kept bringing that up. That was like one of your favorite StarCraft stories. You're like, yeah, my Australian buddy T-Gun, and you know, to the day of today, I've never casted a game of T-Gun, but you made him sound like the best player in the world.
He played at the Southeast Asia WCS event.
I saw that, but I didn't cast it. I think
he was top 8, wasn't he?
And there were only 8 players there.
Well, he was in the top 8.
Oh, man. His layer is almost ready for Catz. And we will see how Catz is going to go with this. I think it's going to be Nidus, and I can't blame him. Even though he doesn't really have an Overlord in a good position, unless he wants to drop it over here.
I'm really curious to see what he does myself. He could also just make an Overseer, which is a very easy way to get vision. But he hasn't shown us the tech. It could also be something like Burrowed and Fester. That wouldn't make as much sense. But it's, again, something else
but
I've
then
seen
he took the gases a bit too early now. Because he was so low on minerals. He's still making drones, so I guess we're not going to see now
Maybe
display.
he's just going to go Muta? Nope, there's the... Okay, it is going to be Infestor.
Hmm.
All right, so something else that Catz likes to do. This tells me that Catz feels behind, and he is a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't a good start. It could have been worse if Phantaxx would have just not overreact too much to those remaining 3-4 links, because those were really not a big threat anymore. Catz is going to check out with his Overlord right now, wants to see what is going on. It's funny that he still doesn't have link speed. He will spot the robotics facility though. I think that he perhaps expects that Phantaxx wants to follow this up with a 2-base Immortal. It's very hard to predict right now, so I might just be completely wrong. But if that's what Catz is thinking, then I can understand the very quick Infestors. Because Fungos are obviously very, very good against Sentry Immortal.
That's very true. Sentries have a tendency to clump up, and if you can deal with that, then Zerglings can make short work of everything else in the mix.
So would you say, Ben, that Sentries are like Ohana?
Sentries are kind of like Ohana. They stick together.
Yes. And you know what Infestors like to do to Sentries?
I don't think I want to hear this.
Why not?
What do Infestors like to do to Sentries?
Release the Kraken.
You're right. I did not want to hear that, Kev.
And it's always good, Ben. But actually, we're not going to see either of that, or at least most likely now. This Twilight Council is on the way as well. So I think that Phantaxx wants to get at least +2, which is a very wise decision, because I don't think a 2-base push would have worked very, very well for him. If we take a look at the worker tab right now, we see that Catz pretty much caught up. It's 44 against 47, so still a small worker lead for Phantaxx. But that's about it. And we have ourselves a very, very weird and unorthodox ZVP.
Absolutely, you are correct. 5 Infestors popping out right now with plenty of energy with which they can release their Krakens everywhere.
It's nice that I'm at least correct once in this game, Ben, because so far this has been a pretty confusing game. Phantaxx right now dropping the robotics play as well, a little bit sloppy there, Ben. Hits a pretty big supply block, 68 for the full 15, 16, 17 seconds or so. So that's not going to help. And I kind of wonder.
What can Catz do from this position? He does spot and kill the observer of Phantaxx, so that's something. It at least keeps his opponent in the dark, and it puts Catz in a little bit of an advantaged position in that he can dictate some things about where the game goes from here. But man, Phantaxx is just playing very safe. He's even adding extra cannons to his front because he just doesn't want to take any chances. Catz, incidentally, has stopped producing drones and is now making some Zerglings, and I think his plan is maybe taking shape a little bit. Perhaps an infested Terran bust at the front.
That's, I think, what Phantaxx is thinking, but I really don't think that Catz wants to do that. He just went up to 3 bases as well. You should know by the way that this game went that, no, there's no window for that.
Yeah, not with Colossi coming out.
No.
It would definitely be a failed attack if you were to try and force it.
There are so many cannons everywhere for Phantaxx. Phantaxx is really, really afraid against Catz. That's one of those things where your reputation really works in your favor. Of course, everybody knows that Catz is capable of busting out builds like that. Like a big Infestor Link bust. And it makes Phantaxx really afraid. Now Phantaxx did get the confirmation that Catz is actually going up to 3 bases, so that everything he thought is most likely not going to happen. With a lot of Burrowed Infestors, oh, that's so risky, by the way. Imagine if there were Blink Stalkers with Observer.
And it's just like by pure chance he avoids the Observer. Catz is going to run right up to the front, and it is the Infested Terran bust that we talked about. A lot of Infested Terrans going down. Will the Colossus be able to deal with it? He looks actually, I mean, he's going to kill some buildings here, but I do think that this is ultimately going to fail.
Well, his cannons are going to fall, so it was definitely not for nothing. Catz doing better here than I expected. Also didn't lose that many units on his own, lost a handful of links, but he took out all the cannons, but he also spent all his energy, Ben. And this is a double robo build. Double robo +2 is almost ready. I think Phantaxx could produce a lot of units in the upcoming, well, 90 seconds and make a go for it.
Take your time, mate. You can do whatever you want here, as Catz has no upgrades and he's on pure Zergling Infestor. A Colossus-centric Death Ball is pretty damn good against that. It really, the options that Catz has from here are incredibly limited. He needs maybe to get Neural Parasite and hope for a great engagement that way.
Yeah, I think that's going to be very hard. He's even going for 2 Vipers. Wow, Fungos are landing right now on a couple of Sentries and Colossus, but that's a little bit risky. This is one ballsy Infestor, man. This is like the Ambush Ultralisk, but this one is actually nice observer right there. We'll spot those Infestors. Catz gonna have to be really careful. Does land another Fungal.
Really good use of Fungal by Catz, but finally the observer.
If only the Ambush Infestor was still there.
What about the Ambush Ultra? He could pop out from behind those bushes and just kill everything. Another Fungal goes down, and The sentries are pretty much all dead. Catz is continuing to be very annoying with this, and that is some incredible maneuvering by our North American Zerg player. Totally shuts down, or should we call him the South American Zerg player now?
Yes, I would go with South American, because he prefers to be called Peruvian as well. And he always wants the Peruvian flag. Still a lot of infestors for Catz. Catz doesn't really have a whole lot of units, but infestors can do miracles. It's 35 links and more than 10 infestors.
But so few upgrades. Infested Terrans going out everywhere. Where are the Zerglings? Here they come. But, oh dear.
That's the wrong moment to fight. Now it's just going to be these Colossus alone. All those links melt immediately. Infested Terrans will go down once more, but Catz is starting to lose a lot of units right now. And it's just, I don't think he's going to be able to get an answer to this Colossus. Man, both players have so much money, by the way. Phantaxx has 1,300 minerals, 700 gas from one base, and Catz has 2,000, 1,000.
Yeah, it's difficult to spend your money when you're playing what Catz is playing. It's just pure Zergling Infestor. It's hard, believe it or not, it's hard to dump all that. He does have 13 larvae that's unaccounted for right now. What is he
yeah, I have no idea what Catz actually did. Now he's making 9 infestors at once, so at least he spent all his gas and he's going to try to make some more links. But now he did run out of larvae, but that took a little bit too long. Catz had way more time to make all those units.
Yeah, Phantaxx just doing this off 2 bases. This is how I would have done it too, man. 3 Colossi. Just excellent against unupgraded Zerglings and not bad against Fungal as well, or I should say Infestors.
Wrong place at the wrong time, Ben. These links.
It does not pay to be an egg.
I'm surprised that Phantaxx just leaves these 3 eggs. When it takes so long, you should often know that these are Infestors. Lost Spinecross over here. Now the Infestors can come from behind. Could let Fungals, could get a little bit ugly. Oh, those Infestors are misrallied, so 3 Infestors will fall immediately. Catz is going to try to go for the counter over here, but I don't see that working.
Well, he's going to get up the ramp and drop a lot of infested Terrans, and he might kill all these cannons again, but this is kind of like he's sort of forcing a base race that he's frankly doomed to lose, because Colossi, they're going to kill these links.
Maybe that's why he saved a lot of money, because he already want to engage the link.
Yep, a couple of Colossus in the middle of the map just killed a ton of Zerglings.
Ooh, sorry, man. 26 Zerglings. Not sure if there's still an observer. There is one observer on the map. Imagine if he's going to lose that observer. That would be a little bit annoying. But now these 2 Colossus are kind of like the Guardians.
Yep, Catz is definitely a never say die player who has come back from positions like these before.
Yeah, I've watched a crazy game once on his stream on Cloud Kingdom against the Protoss who I think proxy or cannoned him early on. And he came back literally while he had like 3 drones. It was an absolute crazy game. He's going to lose his Spire as well. He did manage to make 5 Mutalisks during all this ban, but the biggest problem is that he wanted to completely destroy the economy of Phantaxx, and the opposite is true, as there are still so many probes alive.
He took out the Cyber Core. Maybe he was thinking, all right, if I take out his ability to produce Stalkers, then I can just kill him with Mutas. But Phantaxx has rebuilt it. He's warping in Stalkers back in his main base. Even if Catz comes out with 20 Mutas, I think Phantaxx is going to be fine.
Cannons almost take out 1 Colossus. 1 Infestor. 1 Infestors do fall. These 2 Guardians are still standing strong over here, man. Man, I would feel safe below those Colossus.
Yeah, man, almost 50 kills between them.
They're not just Guardians, they're veterans. The serial killers. And Catz surprisingly loses the first game against IMP Phantaxx.
Phantaxx is the winner.
Winner?
For our graphic. FroDan running the graphics. Oh. Forgot my hat.
It's a good hat, Ben. There's nothing wrong with that hat.
You digging it?
It's not bad.
Not bad. All right, folks. So we're going to kick it to a very short break. I'm eager to see what other fun graphics FroDan throws up for us throughout our broadcast. Don't go anywhere. Catz versus Phantaxx, game number 2 after this. And hey, our next series, Coco versus Golden. A little Korean action. Don't go anywhere.